Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're diving into something that affects all of us, mastering our time. We're going to figure out what time management is really all about and give you some seriously practical tools to take back your day.
All right, let's start with a question. Picture this. You're in the zone at work, and then ding, an email, or a coworker pops by for a quick question, or you just, glance at your phone for a sec. How much time do you think that really costs you? A minute? Maybe two? Get ready for this. The answer? 25 minutes. Yeah, you heard that right. Not seconds, a full 25 minutes.
So where on earth does that number come from? Well, there's this researcher, Gloria Mark, over at the University of California. Her work shows that it takes our brains about that long, 23 to 25 minutes, to get back into that deep focus zone after we've been interrupted. It's this thing called context switching. Basically, your brain can't just slam the brakes on one thought and instantly accelerate into another. So that quick 30-second scroll, it's not just 30 seconds, it's a 25-minute hit to your focus. And guess what? It spikes your stress too. Okay, so if that's the reality, how do we fight back? This is where real-time management comes in. And let's get one thing straight. This is not about doing more, working faster, or just cramming more stuff into your day. It's a total mindset shift. It's about being proactive and deciding this is what matters and this is where my focus is going. You know, the official definition actually nails it. It talks about consciously planning and controlling your time. The key word there is conscious. It's about stopping the day from just happening to you, and instead, you start happening to the day. You're the one in the driver's seat.
So how do we do that? Well, it kind of breaks down into four main parts. First up, you've got planning, thinking about your day before it even starts. Then, setting goals, knowing what you're actually trying to achieve. Third, and this is a big one, prioritizing, figuring out what's really important. And last but not least, delegating, which is just a fancy way of saying you don't have to be a superhero and do it all yourself.
Okay, but let's be real. Why go through all this trouble? What's in it for you? The payoff here is huge, and it's about way more than just checking things off a to-do list. This stuff can change your whole life. Seriously, the benefits are massive. When you're in control, your stress just drops. Your performance goes up. The quality of your work gets better because you're not always in a frantic rush. And all that success, it builds some serious self-confidence. And guess what that leads to? More opportunities, better career moves. At the end of the day, managing your time is really about managing your own happiness and success. You know, there's that old saying that just sums it all up perfectly. Time is the one thing you can never, ever get back. It's always moving forward, whether we're ready for it or not. It's a pretty powerful kick in the pants to remind us to actually use it on purpose.
All right, so we get the why. Now let's get to the good stuff, the how. We're going to get super practical and walk through 3 powerful techniques you can literally start using tomorrow. This is your brand new productivity toolkit.
First up, a tool for cutting through the clutter. If your to-do list feels like a chaotic mess, you're going to love this. It's called the Eisenhower Matrix, and its genius is in its simplicity. It just asks 2 simple questions. Is this urgent? And is this important? So here's how it works. You've got 4 boxes. If something is both urgent and important, that's what you do right now. No question. Now, what if it's important, but not really urgent? Think like long-term projects. You schedule those, put them on the calendar. Then you have the urgent but not important stuff. A lot of interruptions fall in here. If you can, delegate it. Pass it off. And finally, the stuff that's not urgent and not important, just delete it. Get it off your plate. This thing is amazing because it forces you to put your best energy where it actually counts. Okay, tool number 2. This one is all about battling those distractions we talked about earlier and getting into that deep focus zone. It's called the Pomodoro technique, and people swear by it because it's so dang simple. So here's the drill. You pick one single task, just one. You set a timer for 25 minutes, and for those 25 minutes, you are a machine. You work on that one thing, no interruptions. Phone away, notifications off. When the timer dings, you stop. You take a 5-minute break, do whatever you want. Then you repeat. After you've done 4 of these Pomodoros, you take a nice, long break, like 15 or 30 minutes. What's great is that it creates this little burst of urgency and makes huge projects feel way less scary. You're just tackling it one 25-minute chunk at a time.
All right, our last technique is less of a technique and more of a whole philosophy. It's a mindset shift that can totally change how your day feels by building momentum right from the start. And has a great name, Eat That Frog.
So this idea comes from a great quote usually credited to Mark Twain.
Basically, your frog is that one big, important task on your list. You know the one. It's probably the one you dread the most and are most likely to put off. The rule is simple. Eat that frog first thing in the morning. Get it done before anything else. Once that's out of the way, the rest of your day feels like a cakewalk. You've already got a huge win under your belt before you've even had your second cup of coffee.
Okay, we've talked about the problem, the big ideas, and some awesome techniques. But knowing all this stuff doesn't mean anything if you don't do something with it. So how do we turn this knowledge into action, like tomorrow?
First things first, and this might be the most important takeaway of all, you do not have to be perfect. Please don't try to become a time management guru overnight. It's not going to happen. The goal here is just progress. So just start. Start small.
In fact, here's a super simple 3-step plan for you. Step 1. Tonight, before you wrap up, just take 5 minutes. That's it. Plan out your main priorities for tomorrow. Step 2. Pick just one of the techniques we talked about. Just one. Maybe you try a Pomodoro session or you decide to eat that frog. Commit to just trying it. And step 3. Turn off the notifications on your phone and computer that you don't absolutely need. Seriously, these little things can add up to a huge change.
And I'll leave you with this to think about. If you use these ideas to beat back distractions and manage your time, it's not crazy to think you could get back an hour every single day. So the real question is, what would you do with that extra hour every day? What would that make possible in your life? That's a powerful thing to consider. Thanks so much for tuning in.